that, Vishal Manchanda is now joining in to talk about the pharma space. Yesterday, stocks like Cipla, Pharma were all on the higher side on the back of bullish brokerage's notes. Vishal is now joining in. So Vishal, as we look into 2025, what would be the big themes and trends to watch out for? Will it be CDMO, which does well, though there was some negative news flow, delay of the opportunity coming in from the US? Will generic make a comeback? Give us the big picture looking into next year.
Yeah, so I think as we move into 2025, we'll be a bit nervous as it comes to the pharma sector. I think the large cap names, we will see, we'll be looking at Revlimid cash flows coming to an end, and people would be anxious whether companies have the new launches in place to replace the Revlimid erosion. That's one thing that will be on top of everybody's mind in 2025. On the CDMO front, I think things are looking good. The order flows are good while the Biosecure Act is delayed, but there is one theme that's playing out for the CDMO companies, the China plus one theme. So companies continue to look to diversify. The other thing that would be on top of everybody's mind would be the GLP-1 opportunity, the weight loss drug opportunity for Indian companies, either as a CRAMS opportunity or either as launches in emerging markets and India branded formulation markets. So some of the developed markets would also open up in 2026 as far as the GLP-1 drugs are concerned. Overall, I think structurally 2025, from an India branded formulation perspective, we should see a similar kind of growth, say high single-digit growth for the IPM. The US probably will be selective. Some of the companies will have some very high-value launches, like Lupin is one that's going to probably outshine everyone else in 2025 in terms of the high-value launches. And then there are surprises in the US. We can see some approvals coming through which aren't expected. So I think overall it will be a mixed bag, 2025.
So let's talk about the first point, the nervousness caused because of the Revlimid opportunity now getting eroded. What would be the overall loss in revenues, or what was the revenues on account of this, say, last year? And which are the companies that would get hit?
I think if you look at exposure, the large ones are Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, Zydus, and Sun Pharma, and Aurobindo to an extent. So in terms of, I think Reddy's would be the most exposed, followed by Cipla, then Zydus. Sun would be the least in terms of the net earnings exposure to Revlimid. So the concerns would probably weigh in more for Dr. Reddy's here.
Vishal, your coverage on Wockhardt?
Yeah, I don't have a coverage there. I'm just tracking that they have this NC molecule WCK5222, which probably is creating interest in the stock.
Interest in how, right? It's gone up. 24 has been a blockbuster year. We on hopes that the drug will be blockbuster. It'll clear phase 3. Right. But is it a bit of a binary situation, Vishal, or you think we, as they say, it's like, drug discovery and approval is akin to, in a way, success rates in finding oil. Both are very, very low to clear the final hurdle in that sense, right? Now, of course, it's in human testing. So just wanted your thoughts there. Is it binary, or you think there's greater confidence that it'll get done?
I think my sense is, looking at whatever we have seen in terms of data, it looks like the drug should get through because we have seen this work in a lot of patients who have been resistant to almost all other treatment options. So the drug is working, and probably we have also not heard about any safety issues coming through so far on this one. So it should be through. I think the question is, what should be the peak sales opportunity for this one? As far as I understand, so far we haven't seen. If I look at launches in the last 10 years, the largest antibiotic the largest antibiotic so far is about $600-700 million in peak sales. And so this is a niche market. I think scaling up a drug in the antibiotic space is a difficult thing to do.
right, since you track this one, for Wockhardt specifically, if they get this approval, right? And then, of course, you go to scale, etc. as well. Could the stock do very well? I mean, what you read is that there is no competition for many years, a decade plus. I mean, at least they don't see competition, right? The company itself. Is it possible it does very well, provided the approval comes through from here?
So like, there'll be no generic competition for the next decade, but probably we'll see competition coming in from other options. So basically we'll have, Pfizer is one large company which is focused on antibiotic research, and they have late stage candidates in their pipeline on the anti-infective side. So maybe not a generic competitor, but another branded competitor is obviously expected. Then we also expect to see some pressure because of a large drug in the same category, like those. So this one is specifically focused around patients who would be resistant to a lot many treatment options, and hence it would compete with drugs like Zavicefta in the US. So this drug Zavicefta is expected to go off patent around 2027. So if that goes off patent, then there'll be some pressure on this WCK-5222 when it reaches the market.
Okay, well, there are competitors out there, maybe not immediately on the generic front, but generic also will come. But the market is very large. That's the point, right? I mean, the size of the market is.
I think the market is niche, I would say, because it's focused on the last stage of patients, those who don't respond to the traditional option. So it's probably the last line treatment options. That's where it'll be positioned, is how I look at it.
All right, Vishal, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for those quick thoughts this morning, but very useful, and appreciate your time on CNBC TV18 as always. Well,